Hi guys, it's your girl Funnel Pop, bringing you all the necessary tea while it is hot. Make sure to like this video, and subscribe, okay? Thank you. And if you have already, thank you my darling pop stars. Before I start, I want to be clear that most of what I'm about to say are still speculations, based on detective work from Korean netizens, most of which rely on clues the show has given us so far, the secret room photos, visible years, jobs, and overall life stage. That said, the age guessing on Nuna is a woman to me has quietly become one of the most interesting parts of the show. The fact that they haven't revealed anyone's age even as of the recently released episode is mind-blowing, yet it makes every interaction feel heavier, because you're constantly wondering how big the gap really is, and how they would even overcome it if the gap is truly huge. The show even hinted that the age difference could be more than a full zodiac cycle, so once those old photos started appearing, fans immediately went into detective mode. However, there is one important exception, and that's Moojin. There is a photo from his participation in Mr. International Korea 2025 that clearly lists his birth year as 1999. His Instagram is currently private, which is understandable while the show is still airing and spoilers are being controlled, but that detail alone essentially confirms that Mujin is a 99-liner. Using international age, that would make him 26 years. So when it comes to Mujin, this is no longer just a vibe-based guess. His age is real, and that changes the entire conversation. Once Mujin's age is anchored, everything else about the Nuna younger man concept suddenly feels much more intense and much more real. For the women, fans are still speculating that they fall somewhere in their mid to late 30s. Bonhee is often guessed to be an 87-liner, born in 1987, which would make her 38 or 39 years old, depending on her birthday. Youngkyung is usually placed around 1988, making her 37 or 38. Ji-won is commonly guessed to be a 90-liner, born in 1990, making her 35 or 36. Yeon is often speculated to be a 89-liner, born in 1989, which would put her at 36 or 37, and Sohyun is often placed around 1991, which would make her 34 or 35. For the men, the guesses skew noticeably younger, which is where things really start to feel different. Sangwon is often speculated to be the oldest among them, usually placed as a 91-liner, born in 1991, making him 33 or 34 years old. Songyun is commonly guessed to be a 94-liner, born in 1994, which would make him 30 or 31. Hyunjun is often placed as a 96-liner, born in 1996, making him 28 or 29. Moojin, now confirmed to be a 99-liner, born in 1999, is 26 years old, and Ji-young is thought to be the youngest, possibly a 2000-liner, born in 2000, making him 25. If these speculations are even close, the age spread is already pretty significant. None of this is confirmed for the rest of the cast, but when you line it up against Mujin's confirmed 99 birth year, the possible age gaps stop feeling theoretical and start feeling very concrete. And this is exactly why the age secrecy works so well. Without hard numbers on screen, we're forced to read behavior instead. Who feels grounded? Who feels impulsive? Who hesitates? Who pushes forward anyway? The show isn't just about romance, it's about timing, and age becomes a major part of the tension. What I also find interesting is that even with a Nuna, younger man concept, most viewers still assume the show wouldn't actually pair someone in their 40s with someone in their 20s. There's this invisible boundary people expect the show to respect, which makes every new clue feel heavier. Are they going to stay within what feels socially acceptable, or are they really going to lean into the discomfort they keep teasing? For example, Bonhee and Moojin have had a solid connection going on since episode 1. He genuinely wants this to work, and he has put in so much effort to earn Bonhee's attention and trust. But if Bonhee really is an 87-liner at around 38, and Moojin is 26, that's a full 12-year difference. And while age gaps like that aren't unheard of globally, this is where Korean culture really matters. In Korea, age isn't just a number, even though we keep hearing from the panelists that it is, lol. Now, this makes me wonder, can Moojin and Bonhee really pull this off and date for real? At this age, she is looking to settle down and marry, so will they really be able to pull this off? The thought alone is exciting and also frightening, since I want them to be together, but I understand how this can be difficult realistically. This was why Sangyoon believed he could have an upper hand over Moojin with Bonhee once their ages are revealed. In Korean culture, age dictates speech levels, social roles, expectations, and even how a relationship is perceived by outsiders. A woman dating a man significantly younger than her still carries a very different kind of scrutiny, especially when the woman is approaching 40 and the man is in his 20s. That pressure doesn't disappear just because there's chemistry. And to be clear, relationships like this do exist in real life, but they are extremely rare, which is why they always become headlines. One of the most well-known examples is actress Hem So-won, who is nearly 2 decades older than her husband. They are legally married with a child, yet their relationship has faced non-stop public criticism and skepticism specifically because the woman is older. The fact that people can only name 1 or 2 examples like this kind of proves how heavy that pressure actually is. These relationships aren't impossible, but they are never socially neutral. We've also seen how intense age pressure can be even when the man is older. Earlier this year on Heart Pairing, Park Chung-won had strong chemistry with Ji-won, but once the age reveal showed she was 10 years younger than him, he completely pulled back. He openly struggled with the age gap and ultimately cut off his feelings because of how he feared viewers would react. And that was male to female. So imagine how much heavier that weight would feel when the woman is the older one. So in this situation, even though Moojin comes across as confident, direct, and surprisingly steady for his age, the bigger question may not be whether he can handle the relationship, but whether Bonhee feels socially and emotionally safe enough to step into it. Bonhee reads as someone who is very aware of how things look, how choices land, and what long-term implications might follow. Dating a 26-year-old as a woman nearing 40 on a nationally broadcast show is not a small decision, even if the show itself creates a more accepting environment. And honestly, this might explain some of the restraint we see from her. There were moments where she held herself back in conversations with Mujin, and it doesn't feel like disinterest. It feels like a calculation. In a culture where age hierarchy still quietly shapes relationships, Bonhee has more to lose socially if things don't work out. Moojin can walk away having dated an older woman and be praised for confidence. Bonhee risks being judged simply for trying. At the same time, Mujin's confirmed age reframes his behavior in a more serious way. His boldness isn't just a charm. It's a 27-year-old man intentionally pursuing women who are older and more established than him. That takes confidence, but it also raises the question of whether he's prepared for the realities that exist outside the show. Attraction is one thing. Navigating family expectations, public perception, and long-term plans is another. So can Moojin and Bonhee date after this revelation? Emotionally, yes. Energetically, they're not mismatched. But culturally and socially, the burden would fall much heavier on Bonhee's side. Confidence alone may not be enough to override that weight. And hesitation doesn't mean fear. It means awareness. This is what makes their dynamic so compelling. It's not just about whether they like each other. It's about whether liking each other is enough to challenge everything they've been taught about age and what a proper relationship should look like. And that tension, more than any dramatic edit or twist, is what keeps this pairing feeling unresolved and quietly intense. Whoever came up with the idea of this show plus the casting, is truly brilliant and deserves a kiss on the forehead. Because I already have a headache just thinking about it, ha ha ha. If Bonhee and Moojin do move forward, it won't be because the age gap suddenly stopped mattering, it'll be because both of them decided that connection mattered more than convention. And if they don't, it won't mean the connection wasn't real. It'll mean that reality, culture, and timing spoke louder. I love their chemistry though, it is so beautiful to watch. I truly hope they can make it work in the end even if this rumor is real. But, if not, I'll still support their final choices. What are your thoughts about this? Share them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you'll get notified as soon as I upload the next one. See you soon, bye.